it's time to start the Q&A session, in which I will try to answer your questions related to the camp or modern chess in general. Feel free to ask anything that comes to your mind in the chat section. Is more comfortable for me. And okay, I will do my best to answer all the questions. Just a second. Unfortunately, I have some issue to open the chat window here. Zoom is not responding in a proper way. Just a second. Now I see. Interesting. Now I see the chat. Are there plans for understanding Higgs opening camp? Of course, we are going to make camps which are based not on theoretical knowledge but on positional understanding of given openings. And if you have concrete ideas, feel free to write an email and make your suggestions. What kind of camps are you planning to do in the next months? What are the camps and products are about to come out? Okay, first of all, let me say a few things about the opening products that are going to come out in the next days. There will be a database by international master Krishna Ter about Open Sicilian for White second part, in which he deals with the systems with second move e6. Very interesting approach, you will see. Additionally, the second part of the anti-English repertoire of Boris Avuch will be released either tomorrow or after tomorrow. There will be two databases by Ivan Cheparinov. One of them will be dedicated to the best opening ideas of 2023. In this database, he covers a lot of openings, and his second database will be about Four Knights Sicilian for Black, a repertoire which is rich in new ideas. And there are also many other products that will be announced quite soon. Concerning the camps, even next week, probably around the end of the next week, we will make an announcement for new camps that you can consider. Okay, if you have more questions, you can ask in the chat. In positions where white has the bishop pair, Ioannis recommended after d takes c5 to avoid symmetrical structures after with d takes c5. Is this also the case more generally? This is not a general case, but this is something that is valid exactly for this type of Nimzo-Indian structure. Otherwise, when the side which is fighting against a bishop pair usually tries to get a symmetrical pawn structure, because in symmetrical pawn structures, the bishop pair is not that effective. Usually, when we have a bishop pair, we try to get an asymmetrical pawn structure. But in this version, in Nimzo-Indian structures that Yanis examined in the camp, indeed, the symmetrical structure makes things very difficult for black, because white gets very decent control of the dark squares. This is the reason. Which wines of the camp now can easily be included into Grigorov's Nimzo-Indian repertoire from your camp? Are they all similar in philosophy? Of course, all the variations can be included in the camp, and I think that every wine can be replaced, and you can play both variations, because the pawn structures, the typical ideas and patterns remain the same. And actually, this camp is not about theory. It's not so important to understand exactly which variation is more precise and which is less precise. You should feel the spirit of the position and get a better feeling of the Nimzo-Indian defense in general. Of course, once you understand all these major ideas, you will be able to play many variations. What about a camp concerning self-tutor similar to Kulashevich's books? Yeah, probably it's possible to discuss such a camp with Davorin Kulashevich himself. Although I must say that a lot of important information has been already shared in his books, to be honest, and it's not so easy to add something crucial. Usually, in all the camps that we are making, we try to give some hints on how one can work on his own. But of course, such an idea can be considered. Thank you for your suggestion. So here there is something, not a question, just a suggestion for new camps by Yanis Papaioannou. D4, knight f6, practical repertoire against the sidelines, bishop g5, London, Torre, Jobava, Zukev top. Yeah, this is very interesting and possible. I can discuss it with him. Also, practical repertoire against c4, knight f3, b3, g3, b4, f4. Of course, that would be great and complete his amazing black repertoire. Of course, I completely agree. Have there been any new developments in the lines you suggested in your camp? No. All these lines are based on solid positional grounds, and therefore you cannot expect something that is a game changer. In Zemish variations, Ioannis recommended knight c6 early. As I remember, there is a difference starting with b6. Yes, of course, but I think that both move orders are possible. Yeah, what Yanis recommended is also quite nice. Very solid positional concept. Any ideas for the next endgame camp? Okay, when we speak, there will be endgame camps, but when we speak about the endgames, I must say that I have recorded a video series with Grandmaster Ulf Andersson, the legendary endgame player Ulf Andersson. And in this series, we discuss for almost 4 hours. We discuss some very interesting, instructive end games that he has played. Very soon, we will try to release this product. How to identify weaknesses in one's own play. How to analyze my own game's test positions to identify tactical, positional, or other weaknesses. Yeah, it's not an easy job, of course. And first of all, you should understand from even statistical perspective in which type of positions you make more mistakes and you lose more games. For instance, it's very easy to understand by analyzing with an engine in what kind of situations you make blunders. Even when you play online, you get report from different playing platforms, and you will see in what kind of positions you make blunders. Of course, you should try to understand in which type of positions it's most difficult for you to make a decision. What kind of decisions that you have taken prove to be wrong after deep analysis. When you analyze your games, you can of course look with an engine or some experienced very strong player to point out where you go wrong, but it's very important to identify the positions in which you spend most of your time and you feel out of your comfort zone, and most likely in such positions you make the biggest mistakes. But I repeat that it's impossible to provide 100% valid answer to this question. Okay. If there are more questions, I will answer. Are there any plans for other mini camps, e.g., on opposite covered bishops with major pieces on the board? Another suggestion: a camp on attacking play would be nice, since the topic has not been covered yet. Indeed, this topic was not covered sufficiently well. We have some products on the website about attacking play, dynamic play, initiative, but there was no camp about this topic. So it's up to us to organize something in the near future. Yeah, thank you very much for your nice suggestions. Is there a strategy booster on the Nimtsu Indian Defense? Of course, you can find a strategy booster on the Nimtsu Indian Defense on the website. So in the strategy boosters section, in this booster, you will find more than 100 extensively annotated interactive test positions, which are designed to boost your Nimtsu Indian understanding. Just a second. I will try to make a demonstration about the strategy booster. This is the section with strategy boosters. And actually, for instance, you can see the strategy booster on the Nimtsu Indian Defense. When you open it, you have different topics. For instance, attacking play, attacking in the center, creating weaknesses, exchanges, fighting for a space, positions with double pawns. For instance, we select this topic, positions with double pawns, and we immediately get an exercise. And here, by the way, it's black to move. After studying the lectures of Papaioannou, which is the move that you are going to suggest here for black? Who will answer? What White has probably just played e4, and what is the typical threats? Okay, here we should play knight to e8 because bishop g5 was the threat, and here probably we can start attacking, and you see the annotations. Okay, very well. This was a brief demonstration of the strategy booster, but after sharing the screen, I got some issues with Zoom. Okay. Just a second. Okay. So in this strategy booster, indeed, you will find many test positions which are sorted by topic and will complete your Nimzo Indian understanding. Okay, let's go for some final questions. I know it has been a long day. Thanks for this camp. I already liked your own Nimzo camp, but I learned some new things, and I especially liked Ioannis Queen C2 D6 suggestion, which seems easy to play. Always nice to have various perspectives, of course. I strongly encourage you to combine the ideas that you have learned in my camp and in the camp of Papaioannou. In some cases, we suggest the same variations. For instance, Hubner variation was covered in my camp, also very well covered by and presented by Yanis. I'm sure that you have a lot to learn from these two approaches. Okay. If there are no more questions, I think that we can end the Q&A session for today. It has been a long day and long camp, to say so. In your camp, you in Hubner variation you postponed castling. Yes, I postponed. Okay, in the Hubner variation, it doesn't make difference because you can go with various move orders. But when in my camp, I suggest to start with c5. To start with c5 against e3, because then okay, we have some additional possibilities, and of course we lose some possibilities. But my choice was c5. I find it very consistent in respect to all the other lectures that I have made in the camp. Otherwise, I suggest probably exactly the same wines as Yanis. Okay. Okay, of course, one of the variations that I wanted to avoid was after castling knight e2. This is one of the points. And also, if white after c5, if white plays a3, we take on c3, and we get exactly the same positions, just like if white starts with a3. There were a lot of transpositions that you can see when looking at the PGM file. That's why I say that c5 against Rubinstein was very consistent with everything that I have suggested against Zemish variation and also f3 variations. That's why I went for c5, and I also find it very practical. Of course, every move order has some drawbacks and some advantages. Okay, I see that there are no more questions. Thank you for attending this camp by Papa Ioanu. I'm glad that you enjoyed. Oh, and I'm sure that after studying the material and listening to the lectures, you're already a better chess players. And okay, let's hope for many nice victories in the Nimzo Indian defense. Uh, Thank you very much, and I hope to see you on our next camps. All the best and goodbye.